Hello and welcome again to In the Lab. Now last time we had a look at some iron wool. It's quite simply wool made of iron. It's literally that. If you haven't watched that video, I'd highly recommend it. But we thought it would be useful to have a look at another way that you can burn the iron wool. Last time we used matches, this time, well, you'll see. Let's take a look. Now here is the iron wool. Again, just literally, it's wool made of iron. And this is how we're going to set it on fire. You could, of course, use fire itself, as in a match, but we're going to use the power of a battery. A 9-volt battery specifically, and there's enough charge here to actually set it on fire. You don't believe me? Well, let's take a look. All you have to do is make sure that both terminals are touching the end of the iron wool, and indeed it does start to set on fire. Every time that I get two terminals touching, it is going to start burning at various places. I'm keeping my hand well out of the way. Let's try this one. I can feel the heat coming off that fire all right. And you can see that it is burning, and the iron burns away gradually all the way along each of the strands of iron wool. Quite a beautiful sight. We get a lovely little crackling noise as well. Fantastic. Now, did you know that this is exactly what happens inside every fuse? Now, I have over here a model plug. Do not plug into socket, that's because it's a model. But if I take the back off it, you can see inside, this is what a plug looks like. And this thing here, I'll use the screwdriver as a pointer, this is the fuse, a 13 amp fuse to be specific. If the electricity going through the plug is more than the 13 amp fuse can cope with, then just what we saw over here happens inside the fuse. The metal gets too hot, it burns, it splits apart, and the electricity can't flow anymore because there isn't a complete circuit. The little bit of metal has split. There cannot be a circuit, there's no more flow. You get a surge of electricity, the fuse bursts, you are safe. If we didn't have a fuse there, there'd be far too much electricity flowing through, things might start to melt, and we'd see a variety of other problems too. So thank goodness that we have basically the same principle that we saw here going on in our plugs to keep us safe. Next time you use anything electrical, anything with a fuse in, have a think about this. This principle is at work to keep you safe. That's how fuses work. And you got to see basically an uncovered fuse and what happens when you put too much electricity through it for it to be able to cope with. There you go. That is how to burn iron wool.